until the house starts turning strange again. Patrick goes downstairs to close the window, but suddenly he hears the sound of a zipper being pulled. Karina hears it too. Then a noise comes from the roof, and Jake begins crying in his room. After calming the boy down, Patrick goes outside to investigate, and once again, that zipper sound echoes from the woods. The bizarre incidents keep piling up, so the couple calls the police, but nothing has been stolen, and there are no signs of a break-in. Officially, there's nothing to investigate. Later that night, Jake is taking a bath when the terror returns. A doll suddenly appears outside the window. At the same time, the entryway is forced shut, and the bagman tries to get inside. It smashes at the window, closing in on the child, but Patrick and Karina hear the noise and rush in just before Jake is taken. From that moment on, they refuse to let him out of their sight. Patrick lies awake all night. He cannot sleep. When he gets up to use the bathroom, he discovers a hidden cellar. Driven by fear and curiosity, he goes down to look. Inside, he finds an old doll. The second he picks it up, he realizes he has seen it before. Even worse, the baseball cap on the doll is the exact same one he wore as a child. This is not a coincidence. Something is sending him a message. Then a sudden laugh rings out in the darkness, making Patrick jump. He now knows that everything happening around them is the work of the Bagman. But before he can do anything, the bedroom door is somehow locked from the inside. He crouches down, trying to force it open, and that's when he sees the creature. The Bagman is hanging upside down inside his room, as if it's mocking him. Patrick charges in to protect his family, but the monster has already disappeared. The next morning, Patrick finds his childhood friend, Sam, and tells him everything. Back then, Patrick's hat and toys disappeared after the cave incident, and now, after all these years, they're suddenly reappearing. To Patrick, that can only mean one thing. The creature is warning him. But Sam thinks he has finally lost his mind. That nightmare was supposed to be long over. At the same time, Jake gives his mother a drawing. When Karina opens it, she's stunned. One picture shows Patrick as a child, another shows the family as they are now. But the angle of the drawing is all wrong. It looks as if someone is watching them from inside the walls or the vents. Realizing something is terribly wrong, she runs to investigate and is met with a horrifying sight. Then, Patrick jolts awake. It was a nightmare, but the fear is real enough that the family finally seek outside help. They learn that the Bagman doesn't hunt adults, it only preys on good children. It uses toys, voices, and familiar comforts to lure them into its nest, where it seals them inside its sack. And according to the warning they receive, there's only one real way to escape it now: leave the house behind. So, Patrick and Karina make a plan. They ask a friend to watch Jake while they go look for another place to live. But the moment the woman returns home with the boy, the house begins acting up again. Strange sounds come through the baby monitor. When she steps out to check, the lights suddenly die. Then, someone starts knocking at the door. Panicking, she grabs a can of pepper spray, but the next second, a monstrous face appears. The lock slowly begins to turn on its own. She runs back, grabs Jake, and hides with him inside a closet. Outside, the last barrier gives way. The room falls silent, and she dares not make a sound. The Bagman is inside the house now, and it is searching for the child. After a long, agonizing moment, the creature raises its scissors and moves towards Jake. Not long after, police surround the scene. The woman's face is left with strange scratches, but somehow Jake is still safe. One of the older officers sees those marks and immediately thinks of another case from 4 years ago. In that case, a father suffered the same wounds, and his daughter was twisted apart, stuffed into a sack, and taken by the Bagman. The girl was never recovered. Her father survived, but he was left paralyzed and unable to speak. Faced with a monster that can appear and disappear at will, gives way. The room falls silent, and she dares not make a sound. The Bagman is inside the house now, and the Bagman has taken Jake. Patrick doesn't stop thinking. He chases after the creature, out past the house, past the dead guards, and straight into the darkness. But the further he runs,